Now you can live your life. You won't have to travel anymore. I only ask for a hug for Esteban and me. You'll remember us for the rest of your life. With these words, a 47-year-old mother said goodbye in a letter to her husband before making a final, irreversible decision. This wasn't a letter of hate, it was a desperate cry for help that arrived too late. A heartbreaking testament to the loneliness, the exhaustion, and the invisible weight that so many mothers carry in silence. Today, we're going to talk about a true story that forces us to ask a difficult question. Are we really seeing the people around us? She had dedicated her entire life to caring for her son Esteban, a 10-year-old boy diagnosed with autism. Her routine was a never-ending cycle of care, therapies, and complete devotion. Neighbors described her as a woman who was always attentive to her son, a shadow who rarely left the house. They said she looked tired, but they never imagined it would come to this. You see, exhaustion isn't always written on a person's face. Sometimes it hides behind a forced smile. Behind an "I'm fine" that actually means I'm about to break. Her story isn't just a family tragedy, it's a reflection of a much bigger problem. It exposes a painful truth that we often ignore: emotional abandonment. She wasn't asking for luxuries or grand gestures. She asked for a kiss in the morning, a hug. Small things that would have reminded her she wasn't alone in this daily battle. It's those simple gestures we often take for granted, that quiet companionship, that can be the anchor holding someone steady in the middle of a storm. The absence of that support creates a deep emptiness, a feeling of invisibility that slowly eats away at hope. For her, that absence was the final blow. We often think that support is just about material things or medical help. We assume that if someone has access to doctors or money, then everything is handled. But we forget the most crucial element: emotional support. A child psychologist put it perfectly: medical assistance alone is not enough for the children. Mothers need support. They need a break. They need a community network. They need care for the caregiver. That phrase, care for the caregiver, should be a mantra in our society. The person who supports everyone else also needs to be supported. They need a safe space to be vulnerable, to say, I can't do this anymore, without being judged. This is what's known as caregiver burnout. It's a real and serious condition. It's the physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion that sets in when you give everything you have to someone else, without getting the support you need in return. The symptoms are subtle at first: irritability, trouble sleeping, a constant lack of energy, a persistent feeling of sadness. Little by little, the person starts to isolate themselves. They lose interest in things they once enjoyed and feel like they've lost control of their own life. It's a downward spiral that, if not addressed, can have devastating consequences. It's so important to recognize these signs in ourselves and in others, and to act before it's too late. Just imagine this mother's life for a moment. Every single day was a challenge. Planning therapies, meals, and schedules. Anticipating crises, being on high alert 24/7. A mother's love is immense, but when that love becomes a solitary responsibility, it can turn into an unbearable weight. She didn't stop loving her son. She simply ran out of strength to keep going all by herself. Her story is a wake-up call for all of us, for friends, for family, for neighbors. It forces us to open our eyes and practice more empathy. So, what can we do? It's not about finding magic solutions, but about taking real, concrete actions. If you know a mother or any caregiver who seems overwhelmed, don't just assume they're okay. Offer practical help. Something as simple as, I can watch your child for an hour so you can take a walk, or I'm going to the store. Can I pick anything up for you? Or listen, a coffee, a phone call, a text message that says, I'm thinking of you, or I'm here if you need to talk. Sometimes all a person needs is to feel seen, to feel that their efforts are valued and that their feelings matter. These small acts of kindness create a safety net that can, quite literally, save a life. And for any mothers watching who identify with this story, who feel like you're at your breaking point, I need you to hear this. You are not alone. Feeling exhausted, sad, or frustrated doesn't make you a bad mother. It makes you human. It is vital that you seek help. Talk to your partner, a friend, a family member, or a professional. There are support groups, both in person and online, where you can connect with other mothers who know exactly what you're going through. sharing the load makes it lighter. Please know that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of incredible courage and if at any moment you feel completely overwhelmed, if dark thoughts start to creep in and won't leave you alone, please seek professional help immediately. There are helplines and mental health resources available to give you the support you need in your darkest moments. Your well-being is fundamental. Taking care of yourself is the best way to take care of the people you love. You do not have to go through this alone. The story of this mother and her son Esteban can't just be forgotten. It must serve as a constant reminder of our collective responsibility. As a society, we have to create more spaces for respite, more community support networks. We need to promote a culture where care is a shared task, not a solo mission. Companies can offer more flexibility. Governments can provide more resources, and as individuals, we can offer more empathy and more of our time. A hug, a word of encouragement, an ear to listen. Sometimes that's all it takes to keep a life from fading away. Sometimes that's what it means to show with actions that someone is not alone. Thank you for joining us for this important reflection. If this message touched you, please share it. You never know who might need to hear it. And remember, let's take care of those who take care of us. See you in the next video.